Okay, hi guys. I'm going to try and give it a minute before I really get started, because it'd be nice if there's some actual people on live rather than just watching it back, because I'm going to do something I've never done before. I'm going to do a little bit of fun, a little quiz. It's a one question quiz, so I'm going to be asking a question and seeing if you can answer it before I actually give the answer. Okay, if you're not watching this live, if it's a recording, then be honest with yourself, okay? So if you can answer it before I give the answer, super cool, okay? But don't trick yourself and everybody else, okay? So just give the answer while I'm still talking about the question before I actually get to the answer. So Facebook are not doing a great job of showing any of my people anything that I post, so it may be that not too many people even get to see this, because since they've changed their algorithms, they're really limiting who they show my stuff to. However, we've got a few people on, so again, for those people that have just arrived, I'm going to be asking a question, and let's see if you can answer that question before I give the answer. Okay, so I'm going to be giving some symptoms, and I want you to tell me what those symptoms are, okay? What the diagnosis is for those symptoms. So that's what we're going to try and do. So I will go through a list of symptoms, and as soon as you know what the diagnosis is of those symptoms, I want you to post that real quick, okay? So we've got half a dozen people on, so we've got enough to start. So I'm going to start going through some symptoms, and you are going to type what the diagnosis is. If you're a doctor, you're hearing these symptoms, what are you going to say? Let's see what people say. See if they can answer correctly before I give the actual answer. Okay, so symptom number 1, poor concentration. Okay, that's the first symptom. Second symptom, can't focus attention when asked. Okay, so you have poor concentration and you can't focus. You don't listen well. This is of course not you personally, this is the question, someone who doesn't listen well. It's a symptom. Okay, has speech problems. Okay, shows comprehension problems. So struggling to speak, struggling to comprehend, poor concentration, can't focus. Anybody know what diagnosis this would be? Okay, let's carry on. Can't articulate knowledge well. I have a lot of people that tell me they can't articulate their knowledge. Okay, so that is a symptom. Has a hard time memorizing. Okay, so we're building a picture here. So what is the diagnosis? Now if you answer, I don't know for 100% sure I'm going to see your answers, so we'll see. If anybody, it looks to me like nobody's answered yet, but I'm not looking at Facebook, which is where you're seeing this, so I might not see your answers. I am not sure. Somebody say hi and I'll find out if I can see answers. Somebody just say hey, hi, something like that. Okay, let's carry on while I'm waiting for somebody to say hi. Maybe you have and maybe I can't see. Okay, so next symptom, socially withdrawn. Okay, socially withdrawn. Okay, easily irritable. My wife would tell me that was me. Easily irritable. Shows aggressive behavior. Okay. Frequent nightmares. We're almost done, almost at the end of the symptoms. Anybody got it so far? I do see. Hi Ethan, that's Jazz. Hi. Oh, that's really cool. I'm seeing the chat, but nobody's answered. Seriously, all those symptoms, nobody's answered. Final one, has mood swings. Okay, I'm going to go through those symptoms again. Somebody give an answer as to the diagnosis. Poor concentration, can't focus attention when asked, doesn't listen well, has speech problems, shows comprehension problems, can't articulate knowledge well, has a hard time memorizing, socially withdrawn, easily irritable, shows aggressive behavior, frequent nightmares, has problems sleeping, has mood swings. So what is, hi Victoria, what is the diagnosis, folks? What would the doctor say that was all about? What would it be? Nobody has given an answer yet. Okay, Vanda. Hey, Vanda, parasites. The question, Jazz, is what's the diagnosis for the symptoms that I've just named? So, what if somebody presented with poor concentration, they can't focus when asked, don't listen well, have speech problems, show comprehension problems, can't articulate knowledge well, has a hard time memorizing, socially withdrawn, easily irritable, aggressive behaviour, frequent nightmares, problems sleeping, mood swings? What would the diagnosis be for all of that? Dementia, ADHD, Jazz. Okay, that's thank you for that. Okay, I think pretty much universally, if you took your child to a doctor and said all of that, you would indeed be told ADHD. That's what they would say, ADHD. Victoria says heavy metal toxicity. Actually, I'm going to get to the answer in just a second, but Victoria, you are actually on the right path. It is heavy metal toxicity, but here's the question, specifically what heavy metal? Okay, see if anybody can answer that. So yes, all those are symptoms of a particular heavy metal. What is the heavy metal that has all of those symptoms? I'm going to give you just a few seconds, maybe 10 seconds or so to answer that. What heavy metal causes all of those symptoms typically diagnosed as ADHD? Okay, let me see. Okay, so here's what we're going to do. I'm going to share my screen a second and start to give the... Oh, Jazz. Okay, Jazz is the hero of the hour, because... Just give me a second and I will, if I can get to it. I'm still a bit rubbish at this screen sharing lark. I'm hoping that you guys can see that. But let's hope so, because now I can't see the chat when I'm doing this. So can I get back to the chat? Let me see if I can. It looks like you're not seeing what I want you to see. Can I? How can I make this big? Okay, maybe I can't. Maybe I just don't know what I'm doing. So what I am going to do is I'm going to go through this. So the answer is in this tiny one here that you can't see because I can't make it big. How frustrating. But basically, and what I'll have to do is post it, I guess. But basically, all of the symptoms that I just stated are directly from mercury toxicity, and some of the symptoms are only mercury and not ADHD, and you can see that when you look at the actual... Why can't I show that? Let me try and get off this. Let me stop that for a second. Let me see if I can get on there, because I really did want to show that. So let me try again. Hopefully this time I will get it. Okay, there we go. Hopefully you guys can all see that now. If you're on phones, you probably can't, but it gives the list of those symptoms, and some of them, the ones in the yellow, are what they would say both mercury toxicity and ADHD, but some of them are just mercury toxicity, socially withdrawn, easily irritable, aggressive behaviour, frequent nightmares, problems sleeping, and mood swings are more related to mercury toxicity than they are to ADHD. So the question, Kaylee, was I gave a list of symptoms and I was asking people to diagnose what it was, and the symptoms I gave would be diagnosed as ADHD by a doctor, but actually they are mercury poisoning symptoms. Okay, so there you have it. So the point I really wanted to make and to emphasize is that doctors are continually giving a diagnosis of a disease such as ADHD or autism or cancer or multiple sclerosis or Parkinson's, and they are all actually symptoms of toxicity. Different toxins, often heavy metals. It depends on where the heavy metals are. But so we're being told we have a disease. Sometimes we're told it's genetic, sometimes we're told they don't have a clue, but in each case it's actually just a symptom of toxicity. In the case of cancer, for example, we have a massive list of what we call carcinogens, that is chemicals or toxins that they know cause cancer. And yet if you have cancer and you go to your doctor, they're never going to talk about those toxins, maybe with the single exception of lung cancer, and they'll tell you to stop smoking. But what they won't do is talk about, okay, what we need to do is get those toxins out of your body. If you're suffering from toxicity symptoms, okay, then the clear, obvious answer is to get the toxins out of your body. What a doctor's going to do is they're going to give you more toxins. In the case of cancer, they're going to give you serious carcinogenic toxins like chemotherapy and radiation, both known to cause cancer. So it's very important that people begin to understand that the symptoms of chronic disease are primarily the result of toxicity. That is critical information, and if you want to know, if you want to see studies that show that, then just Google, or actually don't Google, use a better search engine than Google, but do a search on the disease that you're interested in and links to toxicity, and you will find whatever disease you put in there, whatever chronic disease you show, you're going to find links to toxicity, okay, because toxicity is the platform on which they all sit. So you've got to learn how to remove the toxins. Most people know I speak a lot about nanozeolite. It's my go-to for removing toxins, but I'm not going to talk about that on this video. I really wanted to just focus on the fact that if I give a list of symptoms, there's going to be a diagnosis that people are attributed to that isn't the case. Okay, so cancer is toxicity, fibromyalgia is toxicity, Lyme is toxicity, diabetes is toxicity. All of them are toxicity, and the doctors are not treating the toxicity. You have to treat the toxicity, and you're not going to get it from your doctors. And the way you treat it is important, because you can do it. But yeah, the problem with parasites is, why are parasites there, Lorraine? They're there, right, because you're toxic, and they're eating the toxins. They're there to help you. Parasites are there to help you, and of course if you have too many toxins you end up with too many parasites, and that causes a problem in itself. But candida and parasites are there because you're already toxic. If you get rid of the toxins, the parasites will go, candida will go, etc. So the toxicity is the root cause. Okay, that's why parasites and bacteria and so on will go into overgrowth mode when you get toxic, okay, because they are feeding on that. Okay, and you want them to do that. So you need to get the toxins down, and then it will bring back the balance. Okay, because we all have parasites, we all have bacteria, we all have fungi. It's normal, and they're normally in balance. They get out of balance when we become toxic. So hope that clarifies that. So start by removing the toxins. And by the way, if you do some kind of method of killing parasites or fungus, then they die, and all the toxins that they've eaten are released. Okay, so now you get a massive, what they call die-off. It's not pleasant. It's all those toxins being released. That's not the way to do it. Remove the toxins, and the parasites or the fungi or whatever will come back into balance naturally. Now sometimes there's a place for killing some, but it's better just to starve them, and they gradually die back over time. And that way you get rid of all your parasites or your candida overgrowth or whatever else it is. Okay, I hope that makes sense for everybody. Any questions? I know a lady got sick and got cancer after having 10 mercury fillings. Yeah, mercury fillings are horrendous. they are leaching mercury into your body 24/7, because the bond between the mercury and the other metals is weak and can be broken by acids, it can be broken by heat, it can be broken by friction, so many different ways to break that bond, and then it's releasing mercury. So you need to be on a nano zeolite to mop up all that mercury as it's leaking into your body. So there you go. I hope that was a bit of fun for you. I hope the people that listen to it not live answer before I give the answer. We're not going to know, of course, but let's hope that they're honest and see if they know. Okay, God bless everybody. Have a great day. Thank you very much. Bye.